work at the radio station, and I thought I would just talk a little bit while I'm driving in. And of course, I've done all my show prep, but it's hard to think about anything else other than the Tucker Carlson interview with Larry Sinclair about Obama. But of course, that's going to be the main focus of today's show. Drinking coffee on the way, and this is my second cup of coffee, and then I have my big cup that's over here that I'll drink when I get there. You know, I put the title of this video, Tucker Carlson's Changing the World, and he is. I mean, there's no getting around that. And, you know, what Tucker Carlson is changing is really, for the first time, things are being discussed that were never discussed before. And what Tucker Carlson has done with all of his interviews so far, if you go back, right? The Larry Sinclair's the new one that's going to drop tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern on Tucker on X, Tucker on Twitter. With Larry Sinclair, with all the Obama claims, which I'm going to talk about in detail on the radio this morning with your calls. So if you're new, make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel and you can take part in that show. But who did he have before that, right? Donald Trump. Then he had the police chief of the Capitol Police, who was the chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. He had Andrew Tate. All of these interviews that Tucker Carlson has done really are taboo. These are taboo interviews that you're just not supposed to be doing. And he is doing it. And he doesn't care. Because he is making a greater point here. Hold on, guys. Let me pull off the road and fix my feed. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me make sure that I'll be right back, guys. If it goes out, it'll be right back. You got to give me a break. Let me turn the air conditioning on. This is Florida. We need air conditioning even at these early hours of the morning. But what Tucker has been doing in each and every one of these interviews, by the way, good morning and welcome to the stream, everyone. These are all taboo topics. And they're going to try to tell us that this Larry Sinclair interview is old news. And nothing could be further from the truth. Not only is it not old news, it's new news. Because Larry Sinclair's story, while it may have been out there over the years, has never been out there in the mainstream media. It's always been only in like alt media. And I would consider right now Twitter to be mainstream media, wouldn't you? How could you not? And getting this story out there in the mainstream media is really breaking these taboos. And it's such an interesting thing because Democrats think they have a monopoly on pushing the envelope and making the unacceptable acceptable. It's really not true. And I know it's hard to understand this sometimes, but the Democrats, really what they are stuffy and conformist. So, and of course, there's the whole aspect that everyone's been talking about. Two things with this Tucker interview with Larry Sinclair. People have been talking, of course, for the last 2.5 years, and people in the know, like Newt Gingrich, that Newt Gingrich has said many times in the last couple of weeks that Obama's running the government. So this story with Larry Sinclair has a lot of impact on that. But one of the things I was wondering is, will this stop the talk of Michelle Obama running for president? That's been a big thing that people have been talking about. People have been talking about Michelle running for years, but it's been coming up lately because Biden's so out of it. And I've never really subscribed to that theory. I think it's too much work to run for office and to hold office, because Michelle really has never had a job in her entire life, and she's an old lady now. So, but will this story make the Obamas go underground so far as media exposure? And this Larry Sinclair interview with Tucker that's going to air tonight is really a three-part story at this point, right? We had the story of the Obama love letters to his girlfriend when he was young, talking about all of his gay, lustful thoughts. And then we've got this weird, strange, mysterious death of the chef. And now we've got this. So, breaking taboos in mainstream, and I hate to call Twitter mainstream. I guess what I mean by saying that Twitter, or I'm sorry guys, I can't call Twitter X. Can you guys call Twitter X? Calling it mainstream media may not be accurate, but it's certainly the media with the widest reach of any platform, Twitter, right now, with Tucker. Because Elon, not only is he like the most popular journalist in America, if not the world, Tucker Carlson, but Elon Musk, I'm sure, makes sure, and certainly with his first interview, but he may still be doing it, make sure that everyone on Twitter gets the Tucker interviews pushed in their feed, which helps. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But Tucker Carlson is single-handedly bringing down the traditional mainstream media as we know it. And who would have ever thought that something like that would have been possible? I'm going to flip the camera forward because I'm getting on the highway, and you guys might be able to see better. Hey guys, I'm not on the highway quite yet. I'm at a light getting on the turnpike. So you might have a better view when I get on the road than of me, because it's so dark, plus my tinted windows and everything else. I was talking on our podcast last night with my wife, our stray kitten we took in. She is in heat, so she's up all night calling all the Tomcats, walking around the house. So I didn't get much sleep last night. I've been up for a long time, but we are going to have to get her fixed. I'm waiting for Kathy to recover, my wife, from her surgery. That's why we put it off, because she was having surgery. I couldn't have my wife and my cat both at home recovering from surgery. So when my wife's done with her recovery and back 100%, then we'll take the cat in to get fixed. But the media right now, though, I think there's probably mixed feelings in the media. Some in the media probably just ignore the Tucker on Twitter. Oh, that's just the internet. It's no big thing. We're cable news giants. We're networks and all that. There's a lot of people that are in that denial. But there's also got to be a lot of people in the mainstream media that are like, whoa, this guy's changing the game. What are we going to do? How are we going to compete with this? He's talking about all the things we're not supposed to talk about. And if Tucker gets that interview that he's trying to get with Putin, oh my goodness, could you imagine? What would that mean? Yes. So I'm on the highway heading to the radio station. It's a bit of a drive on a dark, lonely highway. But I'm not the only one going to work today. This is a weird time of day because here on the East Coast it's 5 a.m. And 5 a.m. is when over the years, being out early this hour of the morning is kind of when the night becomes the day, because if you're out 20, 30 minutes earlier, it's a whole nother crowd. And then at 5 a.m. it becomes more normal, responsible, slow driving like this guy, working people. So I'll put it back on me. There you go, guys. See, I'm kind of in the dark, so. But I also have the brightness turned all the way down on the camera. I mean, you know, it's a funny thing with Tucker, because Tucker Carlson, you know, he's had such big interviews, and you go, who's he going to interview next? How's he going to keep this momentum going? Because I remember when Piers Morgan took over the Larry King time slot on CNN, he had Oprah on his first night, and this was many years ago, so Oprah was a big deal. And then the second night he had Howard Stern on, and this is when Howard Stern, about probably, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but it was about the time that Stern started doing America's Got Talent. I know there was some Stern resurgence going on, so he was a pretty big get at the time. And Howard Stern said to Piers Morgan, how are you going to make it in this time slot replacing Larry King? And he said, I was #1 in England. And he said, England's a tiny little country. That's like being #1 in Jersey. He said, you had Oprah on last night, huge ratings. You've got me on tonight, but who are you going to have on next week? Right? And that's true. That's true. He did, you know, and I keep wondering, what is Tucker going to do? You know, after that Trump interview, he had over 250 million viewers. What is he going to do next? And what do you get? You get this interview with Larry Sinclair, which is just amazing. So it seems to me Tucker is doing a couple of different things with who he gets for interviews. One, he wants to get big newsmakers that people are talking about. And look at what he did. Tucker did an interview last week where he was interviewed by Adam Carolla, and he started talking about Larry Sinclair. And Tucker made Larry Sinclair a hot topic again last week in the Adam Carolla interview. So what I wonder, I haven't gotten an answer on this because this is still kind of new, but I'm guessing Tucker had already interviewed Larry Sinclair, or at least had it set up, but probably already had interviewed him before that Adam Carolla interview. So look what he did. He created this whole global discussion about Larry Sinclair, and then a week later, boom, he drops the interview with him. If he would have done the Larry Sinclair interview before he started talking about him a week ago on Adam Carolla's podcast, it still would be a big deal, but not so much as a big deal as it's going to be tonight. I mean, everyone's going to be watching that tonight. I know you guys will be. I will be. Sorry, guys, I can't watch the live chat while I'm driving, but you're welcome to chat away. I'll go back later and peruse it. As you can see, I got a bit of a drive to the radio station. It's not close. It is 79 degrees right now in South Florida. Can you imagine? 79 degrees at 5 in the morning on 5:05. And people are driving slow on the highway. I don't understand why people get in the passing lane and then drive so slow. I have no idea why they do that. It's insane. Insane to me. traffic out today. Yesterday was almost like a holiday, the day after Labor Day. I was surprised how dead the roads were yesterday. But today, things are back to normal. I guess a lot of people were hungover from Labor Day the day after. 3-4 day weekend. Oh, man. Oh, a construction zone. I love it. Here I am on the highway. It's a 65 mile an hour zone, and it just went to 45 miles an hour. Are you kidding me? This is insane. Really? At the beginning of the morning commute to work time. Total insanity. That's your government at work. The road construction never ends. But it is interesting how Tucker created a newfound interest in Larry Sinclair, because that story with Larry Sinclair, that story goes way back, and it was, I want to say it was in the National Enquirer. Maybe the National Enquirer broke the Larry Sinclair story I wonder, I'm trying to remember, when the Larry Sinclair story first was like in print, was it after Obama was elected or before? That's been so, Obama was elected like 15 years ago. Can you believe it's been that long? But that whole topic is going to be the beginning of today's show at 6 a.m. There's a lot of other things going on too in the news, but it's just amazing what Tucker Carlson is doing. I mean, you got to have respect for this guy. And he's still in contract disputes with Fox News. Fox News has not released Tucker yet. I mean, think about that. Complete insanity. Okay, good. So now the speed limit went back up to 55. Why do they have construction zones during the morning commute to work time? I have no freaking idea. People that are coming to work an hour from now, it's got to suck. An hour, 2 hours from now. By the time I get off at 9, it's starting to clear up. Off the highway, I'll put the windows down and let some light in. I don't want to show the road the whole way. I don't think I need to give the trolls a map to the way I drive to work. What has all of you up at this early hour of the morning? Are you up getting ready for work? Are you just up all night? Tucker, it's so interesting thing because, what Tucker is doing, I would, the interviews he's doing and the subject matter, of course, is spectacular. But these, I guess the best way I can describe them right now, in my not fully awake and alert mind in this hour of the morning, is that these are taboo news topics. He's talking to all the people about all the things that the mainstream media will not talk about. And they don't even call them necessarily conspiracies. They just act as if they don't exist, and the media have this attitude about them that, the tree, falling in the woods if no one's there, right? And they have ignored alternative media forever, the mainstream media, and now Tucker is reaching more people and reaching people in a way that's never been done before, ever, with such large audiences. He's not only probably the most influential man in America, he may be the most influential media person in history at this point, if he can maintain it. And, what he's doing really is a technique of the left. And what the left do, and the left have been very effective with this throughout my life, unfortunately, is they push things to the furthest extreme and really go over the line, so that when there's blowback and they have to pull back, they're still in the extreme, just not in the uber extreme that they were, right? And that's how they make the unacceptable and the taboo acceptable and not taboo, the liberals. And that's what Tucker is doing with the media. And it could not have happened at a better time, because we're coming into this election period, which is the most important election of our lifetimes, with President Trump a shoo-in to get the Republican nomination and have his second non-consecutive term here, and it's absolutely amazing. The timing is a blessing. It really, truly is. Complete blessing. Because Tucker, I don't think he's just flying by the seat of his pants completely. He definitely has plans and a goal. His goal, his plans may not have fully materialized in his own mind, but he's got somewhere he wants to be when all this settles down with what he's currently doing. He won't be able to settle down with what he's doing till he settles with Fox, and I tell you, he must have had either the stupidest people at Fox negotiating his contract, or he's got the best team of negotiators, agents, and everything else that anyone in media has ever had. Because Fox took him off the air because of his J6 tape coverage and other things. They took him off the air, Fox News, to silence Tucker. And what they've done is they've given him the biggest platform that any journalist has ever had. He has zero restrictions, and he can do whatever it is that he wants to do. So in a way, Fox News has made him bigger than he ever would have been. But he won't be able to settle down with whatever his plans are until he makes his final settlement with Fox over his contract. Which, interestingly, I don't hear people talking about too much. Tucker keeps saying he was fired by Fox. That's not technically accurate. They took him off the air. He's still under contract. Megyn Kelly has said that he's still being paid by Fox. But his position is he's been fired. That's like a legal position that he's taken with his agents. Imagine how much money he could be making off these interviews if he could monetize them. He's not able, from my understanding, from the last time this was discussed, and Megyn Kelly's pretty in the know. She knows him and insiders, so she's got, when Megyn Kelly talks about this, it's not so much guesswork as it is informed analysis of a situation. And Megyn Kelly has said, when he first started the Tucker on Twitter, that he's able to do things like he's doing so long as he's not being paid to do it. So he's had the biggest, most watched interviews in the history of the planet, and he's not been able to monetize them. At some point, he's going to have to monetize them to live and make a living. So, but he can't do that until he settles with Fox. And Fox's plan was to take Tucker off the air, keep paying him, because they have a non-compete at the end of whenever they sever ties and stop paying him. And their plan is to keep Tucker silent and away from his audience until after the election, because they know that Tucker Carlson helps Trump. Well, that failed. That plan that Fox News completely failed. The amount of traffic on the highway is insane. It's all trucks mostly. Close to my exit. But not quite there. Here we go. Enjoy the car streams. Let me know in the comments, and I'll do them more often. I used to stream from my car quite often, and I stopped doing it. What I used to do when I was driving in at these early hours of the morning was listen to the news on the way in. I've already done all my show prep, read all the news, got everything ready to go. And what I used to do was listen to the news on the way in. But what has become of the news, it's useless. All they have in the news now is they basically just read through the headlines. They have no researchers, no producers, no nothing. And they just basically read through the headlines one by one of things I've read hours ago and know about. The only time it's useless, or not, the only time it's not useless is if there's like some major breaking event, which is pretty rare at this hour. Just went through a toll plaza. Remember the days when you had to stop at toll plazas and actually pay toll attendant? Oh my gosh. Caused so many traffic tie-ups, slowed down the commute. I'm getting close to my exit. Drive in the morning to the radio station isn't that bad because the cars are moving just a mile from the exit. But in the later in the morning, there's more traffic, so it takes a little more time. about a 35-minute drive to the radio station from my house. Truck in front of me is going like 25 miles an hour. Give me a break, man. I could never be a truck driver. I really do not enjoy driving. Especially long distances. I just don't think I'm patient enough for it. And the road can be kind of hypnotic, can't it? Here, now that I'm getting off the highway, I put the window down to bring some light in. This exit I get off at is a major exit for truck drivers. There's a lot of industrial places around here. This is a little earlier than I leave typically. I'm a little early today. Oh no, there's all kinds of junk in the road. I don't want to drive over that. Wow. At my house, it was 79 degrees, and now it's 75, so it's gone down 4 degrees. I can tell the difference. A little chilly here. Now I'm off the highway. Gotta wake up. I still have 35 minutes or so till airtime. I'll wake up by then. As soon as the show happens like that, like a snap. I wanted to ask you guys can let me know in the chat or in the comments. Let me put the window up. With the sentencing of the head of the Proud Boys, I mean, you know, he got a 2-decade sentence, and in the federal system, you have to do 80% of your time before you're eligible for parole. So that's like 16, 17 years. You know, he's got to do. I don't know if he has time served off of that, but let's say 15 years. Let me ask you guys what you think about this. Let me know in the comments, in the chat. Him getting this 2-decade sentence, Do you still think he's an FBI informant? If he were an FBI informant, I'm talking about Enrique. If he's an FBI informant, would he be getting such a long sentence? Good question, I think. Because the conventional wisdom among conservatives is that he was an informant. But they put one of their informants in prison for 2 decades. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm curious. All right. I'm in the parking lot of the radio station. Let me get some light in here. Hey, guys. All right, let me go through some of the chat. You're not sure now, yeah, Regina? Anything is possible, no. I do not drive the scooter on the freeway. I take back roads when I take the scooter. Are you crazy? Think I drive my MAGA scooter on that road? I'd have a death... It goes fast enough, but I'd have to have a death wish. No way. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Why doesn't the radio station bring a limo to the house? Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, huh? If they brought a limo, I'd probably just fall asleep. Right in the back of the limo. Kathy's she's having a pretty rough recovery, I got to tell you. She didn't want me to talk about it on the podcast last night. Before we did the podcast, she said, let's not talk about my health, but she's having a tough recovery from this surgery. Yeah, Kathy's got a lot of health problems, and I think they sent her home from the hospital way too early. Well, thank you, Kim. Yeah, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and let me know if you enjoy the car video. Because I used to live stream every time I went somewhere. I would live stream from my car all the time. Because I'm always going places. And I stopped doing that. And I was thinking, maybe I should start doing that a little bit more. So you guys let me know if you enjoy the car streams or not. Car video's cool. You love it? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I don't have my microphone plugged in because I got to have my charger plugged into the phone while I'm live streaming. So, the audio's not as good. But I got to have the phone charged so I can live stream on the air for 3 hours. Well, thank you. Yes. Yeah, Kathy's having tough. That's why I took off Monday. I was going to work Monday, but Kathy's having such a tough time. And then I had to race home yesterday, and unexpectedly, I had to take her to the doctor. And it takes me a lot longer to get home on the scooter than it does in the car because I can't take the highway. So I had to get home as quick as I could on the scooter yesterday morning and take her to the doctor. She had a doctor's appointment at 10:30. Which I didn't know about until the show was about over. You didn't get car sick. Well, that's good. That's good. Now it's 73 degrees. It was 79 degrees at my house. And here at the radio station, it is 73. I can tell the difference. Well, thank you guys for watching. Feels more personal. Yes. Yeah, a little more casual. Yeah. Unplugged. The unplugged version. Exactly. Oh, my goodness. But it is, I'm the only one here. Mike, the board op, I get here before him every morning. And he does work in the morning and does some setup. But I always am early everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I am always early. Being on time is like late. Yeah. But I've been up so early today. I was talking at the beginning of the stream. I mentioned this on the podcast. Our stray cat is in heat. And when you have a cat in heat, she walks around the house all night, calling all the tomcats. And this is the second time it's happened, and we didn't get her fixed yet because Kathy was having surgery. And having the cat and Kathy recovering from surgery is just too much. So when Kathy's done with her recovery, we'll take the cat in and get her fixed. But she's kept us up, both of us up, the last couple of nights. Oh, my goodness. And I can sleep through anything, but still, it's a little difficult. Little difficult. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully she'll get well much sooner rather than later. This is one of the worst recoveries Kathy has had from a procedure. Yeah, she is cute. Luna. We did not name her. That was the name when we got her. Kathy's brother found her in his neighborhood. He was feeding her and grabbed her for us. And he named her Luna. Yeah, maybe I'll stream after the show. If I have any charge left in my device, maybe I'll stream on the way home. Because today, I have one stop I got to make on the way home. And then, because I do 95% of my work is at home. The only work I do at the radio station really is the show. Every once in a while, I have meetings. Like I had a meeting yesterday. I may have a meeting today after the show. Either today or tomorrow. I know there's a meeting. I'm not sure. I got to check when I get up there. But I do 95% at least, really more, at home. In my home studio and everything else. That's how most people work. But I was doing most of my work from home even before all this remote work era. But sometimes there's meetings out and about. Like I got Friday, Steve and I have a meeting with a new sponsor, things like that. We do those kind of meetings. Yeah, well, Nick, if I have charge left in my phone, I will definitely live stream after the show. So, guys, I'm going to run. I'm going to get upstairs and get the studio set up, and I'll be on the air in about half an hour, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And everyone who's already subbed, make sure you like the video. All right? All right, guys, I'll see you live in just a few. Take care. Thanks for watching.